day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I'm going to let the tribe know that we are live. In case you didn't know, drboycetv.com is the home for intelligent Black people. So if you're not Black and intelligent, you may want to get the fuck out. This is not your place. This is not your home. This is not where you belong. We will only frustrate you because these conversations will be above your pay grade. Now, with that said, what I want to do is also let you guys know as I'm texting the tribe to let them know that we're live. If you want to get a text notification when we go live, please text the word Boyce, B-O-Y-C-E, to 31996. Text my name, Boyce, to 31996. Do me a favor, shout out your city so I know what city you guys are coming from. I see Nicole. How you doing, Nicole? Is that Nicole Goddess? Is that right? On the African History Network. Hey, Harold, what's happening? Hotep, brother. David Ortiz, Jay Real, Cordelia, Tiffany Johnson, Miss Asset Hoarder, Alton Moore, Brittany, hello from Dillon, South Carolina. Let's see, Jay Real from Indianapolis. Sorry about your quarterback. I don't know if you're a Colts fan. Lawan Smith, he's not. Let's see. Okay, so he's already answered the question. Good. East Oakland tapping in, says Shaniqua, Virginia Beach, Jacksonville, Florida, Chicago, San Antonio, etc. Don't forget, All Black National Convention happening this month, weekend of September 27th in Houston. Willie D is going to be there along with Dr. George Frazier, Sharif Abdul Malik, Vicky Dillard, Danielle Pierce from Fly Nubian Queen, financial expert, attorney Nicole Compton, leadership expert Nicole Price, Noma Langan Mushali Moses. A lot of great people are going to be there. I think we got a long list of people that are participating. I can't remember everybody, but you should check it out. D1, my homeboy, who is one of the great rappers of this generation, if you ask me, he's going to be there. In fact, if you see this video, D, just know I'm going to ask you to perform at my wedding next year. I want D and Victory Boyd. Victory Boyd is a singer. I know her dad and I know Victory, and she is she just got signed with Rock Nation, and that woman can sing her black butt off. I'm telling y'all, if you're looking for a singer whose voice sounds like it sounds like honey just poured over like your favorite dish, that's Victory Boyd. Go check it out. I promise you won't regret it. Anyway, Victory Boyd, I'm actually going to go see her dad invited me to one of her concerts next week. She sang at a couple of our events, and now fortunately I'm happy for her and her family. They have a family business. They're kind of like the Jackson 5. All the family's very musically talented, and Jay-Z brought them all in and signed them all with Rock Nation. Now she's off doing her thing, singing for people that are far more important than I am, and I'm really happy for her. What's up, Deshaun Farad, my homeboy, very consistent Black journalist. Now, let's move on. Speaking of consistent Black journalists, there's been a conversation about Shaun King. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Shaun King is a guy that is really out there. You know, he's very active, very vocal. You see him doing the damn thing every day, nonstop, always on the game when it comes to issues related to police brutality and things like that. Now, I was a little bit surprised today because I saw where Shaun King was getting hit pretty hard. I saw where a lot of people felt it all sort of seemed to spark up the most when Rihanna decided to honor Shaun King at an event that she's having or something like that. And when I saw the controversy, you know, I saw people calling him a fraud and things like that. And I was like, whoa, why? What's going on? Like, is there something I don't know about? You know, so I went and I just searched for it. I Google searched to find out, you know, where all this is coming from. I looked at the articles. I read through a lot of detailed information, and it was interesting. It was really interesting to watch. You know, now, what I'm going to say right now is I'm not telling you what your opinion should be. We don't do that here, right? What we do is we share relevant facts and information. We make arguments. We look at things from multiple sides, and we try to figure out what we decide, what we think on our own, right? I want you to form your own opinion. Don't just copy my opinion. Also, I will say this: I don't know Shaun personally. I know of him on social media. He sent me one message in my inbox or something once or twice, and I think I messaged him back. But that's it. That's as deep as it goes. I'm not, you know, Shaun's advocate. I'm not his adversary. I'm none of these things. I'm just a guy who's observing this, and I thought it was interesting to talk about because it had to do with alleged financial fraud, right? He's being accused of kind of milking the Black community and using fundraisers to just raise a bunch of money so that he can do whatever he supposedly did with the money. Now, I'll start by saying that, Shaun took a pretty bold step this week. Shaun actually released a 72-page report. It almost sounds like some sort of congressional document, right? Like, like the Clinton papers or something, or what was it, that the big report, the Ken Starr report they had when the president was getting his dick sucked in the White House, and they had to write 3,000 pages about it. They just love, so much paper. The bureaucracy is ridiculous, right? Really, I could have explained it all in about 2 sentences. He liked him, she liked, or he liked her, she liked him. She decided to get naked with him, right? Like it's a simple report, but we got to make it complicated, right? We got to make it. It ain't complicated, It's love. It's or not even love. It's lust. Lust is more prevalent than love, right? So but we like to, we got to make things complicated. It is what it is, right? So Shaun put out this report, and I read a big chunk of what I saw, and it looked like he and a group of people. Only a couple of whom I know, but the person I know, Tamika Mallory, who's affiliated with the report, is a person that I respect as an activist. Tamika is somebody that I knew years ago, back when I didn't know that I didn't really want to work next to Al Sharpton, but she was working with Sharpton at the time. And I found Tamika to be one of the more decent human beings that I was around at that time. Sharpton, I didn't see eye to eye with Sharpton, so we decided not to work together anymore. But Tamika, nothing negative to say about Tamika. Tamika she seems legit. And what I liked about Tamika was the fact that Tamika stood up to those oppressive white feminists when they were trying to get her to disavow Farrakhan. The fact that she could have easily done what everybody else does, right? These weak ass members of the Congressional Black Caucus, you mentioned Farrakhan's name, they're like, oh, right? Tamika didn't do that. Tamika was like, no, no, I love him. I'm glad I came to his event. I like him, and I respect him, and that's not going to change. I can still advocate for women, but you're not going to tell me what to do. I think that's a very important step, because you need a little more what you would call Black sovereignty. You need Black people to have the right to have their own opinion without liberals telling you what to think. Because liberals, unfortunately, Malcolm X warned you about liberals. They warn you about the Republicans. They get you scared of the Republicans. They trigger you by telling you how scary the Republicans are, when really they're just saying, look, we want to get rid of your pimp so we can become your new pimp. We want to be your new boss, right? And I don't think any of us just need to have a boss. I think Black people deserve to be free. So I don't care what you think, as long as it's what you think and not what somebody told you to think. So anyway, let me move on. Let me look more. I made some notes on this, actually. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe and all this stuff if you haven't done this yet. That's really important. Oh, and by the way, let me just say this. It's so funny. I put up the proposal video when I proposed to Dr. Alicia. And that was weird, because I don't really know. It's kind of weird putting yourself out there. And I'm also real careful about putting family members out there and all that, because you don't know how people are going to feel about that. But she was okay with it, with me sharing the video. And I looked and I saw the video had like 100 and something thousand views, right? So I decided, oh, let me go in and answer some of the questions and comments, right? So there were a lot of people that were like, oh, this is great, congratulations, etc. And they saw what I was doing. What I was doing was, I like to live what I say. I believe in Black women. I love Black women. I think Black women are great. So I felt it was important for me to not just privately praise her as a Black woman, but to publicly praise her, because that's my way of praising all Black women and what they do for us. Because I think people put Black women at the bottom of the barrel, where really they need to be at the top. And I think that that's a damn shame. You ought to be damn ashamed of yourself if you're pushing Black women to the bottom. I think it's sick. It's a mental illness. But the other thing, so here's. So I'm looking at the comments. Woo, buddy, you'd be amazed how many miserable fucks there are out here that literally were like this is bullshit. Doc, she clearly ain't into you, Doc. Now, first of all, I ain't no stupid idiot. I ain't gonna marry nobody who ain't 100% on board with that shit. So really, I just kind of laughed it off. I'm like, no, I know my woman. We talked about this 1,000 times. I've been knowing that woman since she was 19 years old. So I could tell her, So, but I think that her reaction, because she was so shocked. People are like, oh, Doc, she don't really want to marry you. She ain't really into you. And that's those women from that, like, the hoteppers who abuse women, who claim to be pro-Black but hate Black women, which is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. For real, let's just be real. you know, we got some people in the conscious community, some brothers in the conscious community that need some therapy. Like your mommy didn't hug you enough, your mommy don't love you or whatever. So now you go through life calling every black woman a bed wench and a hoe and a liar and all that. And I just don't understand how you can claim to support the black community, but yet you hate the black woman. That doesn't make any sense to me, because without the black woman, you would not be here. Without the black woman, you would not exist. You know, the black woman brought you in this world, and she can take you out. You know, and so this idea that you have these men that just really think anything involving black women is negative, but you're supposed to be pro-black. Y'all need to reconcile that, man. It's some sick, ridiculous shit. But anyway, but then there was like the other thing, like, oh my God, he took him 26 years to propose to her. Like, oh, that's crazy. Why are you waiting 26 years? I did not date a woman for 26 years and propose after 26 years. Just so you know, I knew her for 26 years, but we were friends for 23 years. And proposing to her a few years ago would have been difficult, considering that she was married to somebody else. I don't know. I got to check the rules, but I don't think you're supposed to propose to another man's wife, right? So just so you know, in case you're wondering, and I'll keep you guys, you know, y'all know me. I don't mind talking about stuff like this, and so that's the funny thing. It really didn't bother me. The internet is a place where basically it's built for easily triggered black people, because basically all the internet really is, social media is people kind of just saying whatever the fuck they want to say and triggering each other. Like, trigger, I hate you, or you a fraud, you this, nigga, shut up, nigga, I hate it, right? And then you have people even talking about, like, I believe in black unity. And the 1 minute they're saying, let's unify. The next minute they're saying, he's a fraud, she's a fraud, fuck him, fuck her, y'all motherfuckers. It's like, what is wrong with you? So sometimes it's also mental illness on display. Like, you really see a lot of mental illness kind of pop up as well in the way people communicate. And so anyway, those are my thoughts on the internet, and I thought I would throw that out there. And I think that does translate to the Shaun King, you know, conversation. The Shaun King, here's the thing, man. I'm gonna give y'all the short version for the Negroes with short attention spans. I think that all the criticism of King is a little bit misguided, and let me tell you why. It's not me saying that I think Shaun King is perfect. I do not know this man. I do not know what Shaun King does in his spare time. For all I know, he could be sleeping with dead puppies and stealing now laters from the local liquor store. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is this. Shaun King has done a very consistent job of bringing awareness to a whole lot of shit that none of y'all would know about if he wasn't talking about it. Let's just be real. Yes or no? I mean, do you get what I'm saying? That this man, you know, I never understood it. I'm not saying, like some people say, well, you know, he's really white. I don't give a fuck. I know black people who are worthless to other black people. I know black people I know black rappers who will do all they can to work with a white man to get your child addicted to Molly before he's 11 years old. What the fuck, man? Like, are you serious? Like, you really think that being black automatically makes you better? You obviously have not studied black people, because y'all got some Negroes out here that are so destructive, they might as well go join the KKK. So I don't care if Shaun is white, black, Mexican. I don't care if he's a Martian. Shaun King, you know, he's doing stuff that's beneficial. That's it. I mean, that's it. So now here's the other thing. I'm gonna be clear about this too. I don't agree with Shaun King on a lot of shit. I don't. I agree with him on about probably 60% of what he talks about. Shaun King, I don't. You know, he runs out, you know, campaigning for Bernie Sanders. Y'all know me. I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. I think that they're all, you know, these politicians. They feed you a bill of goods, and the black community never improves. I can still drive down to the south side of Chicago and still see burned down buildings and homeless and unemployed black men everywhere, and kids getting shot in the street. And so none of these politicians are going to change that. So I don't really care if you tell me how wonderful Bernie Sanders is. In my opinion, he's just another white man. He don't even want to pay reparations. Y'all owe us $15 trillion. When can we expect payment? Like, I'm the bill collector. When can I expect payment on the 15 trillion? We talk about the 15 trillion, then we could talk, you know, about something else. You know, a lot of his conversations on immigration or LGBT or Me Too, you know, they all kind of fit the liberal agenda, right? So he's very black when he needs to be, when he wants to be, and it's fine. And I take that part. But a lot of that other stuff is like, Yeah, you know, unfortunately, you sound like you should have a show on MSNBC, but he's a little too radical for MSNBC because I do believe that he cares about black people a little more than white liberals do. I really do. I think that Shaun King is passionate because that's what he believes in. I believe Shaun King is repping for the things that matter to him, right? And that's my instinct. That's what I'm picking up. I could be getting fooled. You know, he could be pulling the rope a dope on me, but you know, I think Shaun is one of the good ones. You know, now here's the thing though. Here's the issue that Shaun has, right? Here's the problem, and this is where I want to break this down. This is where I'm gonna put on my black finance professor hat. I wish I had my hat around. I have a hat that actually, here it is. I'm gonna put on my black finance professor hat. See, black finance professor, and I'm gonna whip out my PhD real quick. It's right here, and I'm going to break it down financially in terms of why I believe Shaun King is partly responsible for the creation of the dilemma that he's in right now. I say this with love and respect for Shaun, and I made it clear how I feel about Shaun and his work. I think Shaun's one of the good ones. Here's the problem, right? Okay. Shaun, you know, it was talking about Jay-Z, right? And he says, Jay-Z's a proud capitalist, right? I'm not 100% fan of Jay-Z. I don't love him, hate him. He's just, you know, he's Jay-Z. You know, and I'm like, okay, I understand the flaws of capitalism better than anybody because I'm an expert on it. But here's the thing. If you criticize Jay-Z or anybody for being a proud capitalist, then what are you saying that we should be? Does that mean that we should be proud socialists? Is that what you want? Right? Because if that's the case, then what you're doing is you're advocating to push black people further and further to the left. And when you get out in that space of socialism, communism, right, where you start to vilify anybody who's doing better than you. You start vilifying anybody who gets money. You vilify anybody who builds a business. You vilify anybody who builds wealth. You vilify anybody who's a millionaire, billionaire. Oh, you're a billionaire, so that means you must have robbed somebody in order to get that money. No, that's not always true, right? That's not true. We must, as a community, understand the roots of this. You got to understand, you see, the civil rights movement, a lot of that was rooted in financial backing that came from people on the left. The socialist communist crowd pulled together the Martin Luther Kings and everybody else and got them on this like equality bullshit, this like love and peace, let them beat your ass upside the head with a billy club so you can bleed on TV and then everyone will feel sorry for you nonsense. Like they got them on that track. Like there was guidance there. Malcolm X, go watch that speech, The House Negro and the Field Negro, and Malcolm talks about how you know, those white folks on the left started guiding a lot of the civil rights leaders and controlling movements in the black community. That's where a lot of these, you know, people that come in that could be considered almost like agents of control, Negro managers, right? And so, you know, one thing that we have to understand is that there's no rule saying that you in order to advocate for black people, you must be a socialist or you must be anti-business, anti-free enterprise, anti-wealth. Right now, anti-capitalism I can almost tolerate because capitalism in its purest form is incredibly destructive and incredibly harmful. There's no question about it. But socialism, if you want to see what socialism looks like, go down to Venezuela where people can't even afford to buy bread. Go to some of these other countries. There's not one example I can think of anywhere of a country that's heavy socialist that's doing really well financially. There are examples maybe in Europe where they have things like universal health care where it's working pretty well, right? So you can go some places and you know, the one fundamental fact is that you know, capitalism needs to be tempered with socialist ideals where you don't allow, everything can't be related to money. For example, you can't have a healthcare system that's just built on pure capitalism, because then you get the bullshit that we have in the United States where we spend more on healthcare than anywhere else in the world, but yet we have, you know, we're like 18th or 30th or something on the list behind Costa Rica, right, in terms of quality of care, right? So there are arguments to be made, but the arguments for black people must be balanced arguments, because here's the problem. When you're vilifying every black person who makes $1, you're slowing the ability of black people to empower themselves in a capitalist society. You're killing the ability of black people to get ahead because you're telling black people that in order for you to even be considered legit, you got to be broke as fuck like the rest of us. Like, and Jay-Z made a good point. Jay-Z said, I really can't help the poor if I'm poor too. If I'm one of them, I can't help the poor, right? Now, is Jay-Z really going to help the poor? I don't know. I don't like, so far I haven't seen anything significant. I've seen him do a couple of things, but I think that we have to push them to go a little bit harder. I think that we have to push, like seriously, like if I can't go through Marcy Projects and find, 40 businesses that exist because of you, or 500 or 1,000 Black people in that area that now have jobs because of you, then that means that what you've done is you've sprinkled a little bit of charity onto the Black community to make yourself feel better, but you haven't done anything that leads to substantive shifts in the fundamental socioeconomic infrastructure of that community, right? So like Beyonce gives $400,000 to an HBCU. Okay, that might cover the budget for about 2 months. No, Bill Cosby and his wife Camille gave $20 million. That's a gift. That is something that leads to fundamental transformation in that institution. So, when I'm looking at the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's, I'm looking for something where you're announcing that we just raised $200 million that we got together with all of our richest friends. We called the Obamas up, put some weight on them because they're making $100 million a year. And we've got all of our richest Black friends to raise $250 million or whatever to make sure that our top 10 HBCUs are financially good, or maybe our top 20 or whatever, right? Like seriously, like that's what you really need in order to make an adjustment. You can't have a little money given here and a little money given there. Now, here's the big issue. Okay, babe. Love you.
Love you. And the food is in the stove. Is in the
Okay.
oven.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, a couple of the trolls on the internet said that your body language showed that you really didn't want to marry me, and that that you're not really into me that much. Yeah, I thought I would just.
That is so far from the truth, and you know that, boy.
I know.
But I'll see you.
All right, love
All
you,
right,
babe. See you later. All right. Anyway, so she leaves me these little notes and stuff. All right. So here's the problem though for Shaun. This is where it creates a problem for Shaun King. It creates a problem for Shaun King because when you're vilifying Jay-Z as a capitalist, and I think he did it mostly because he's friends with Kaepernick. Because remember, your friend Kaepernick is a capitalist too. Kaepernick may vilify capitalism, but let's not forget, Kaepernick's made at least $40 or $50 million from the NFL, from the very same institution he's criticizing. He's made more money than most people will make in 5 lifetimes, right? So let's just be clear that Kaepernick and Jay-Z are both capitalists. If it's all about just getting money for yourself that you're going to put in your bank account and not give out en masse to the community, then both of them are capitalists, right? Unless you can show me, proof that Kaepernick took that 40 million and gave, half of it. Let's say, well, half of it is going to go to the IRS, right? So did you give 10, 15 million to doing things that are going to shift the infrastructure of Black communities nationwide? Or did you make donations, 50,000, 100,000, stuff like that? Donations and charity are very different from fundamental investment. The Black community does not need charity. The Black community needs investment. Investment means the creation of jobs. It means building of schools. And I think that at the end of the day, we should all be a little bit concerned that we have celebrities that'll go buy a $50 million jet, but won't go build a $1 million school. So that's what's really clear. All right. So hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button. And don't forget, All Black National Convention is happening at the end of this month. We'll continue these conversations at the All Black National Convention. Now, the thing about Shaun King is that, he's very good politically. He's very good at raising money, and he's very good at creating awareness. I personally think that based on what Shaun King enjoys doing, I think he should run for office or something like that. I think he's preparing for that. In terms of him being a scammer, the reason I think another reason I feel that it's a little bit problematic that he will, vilify a Jay-Z for going to make his money is because what happens is that when you vilify other people for making their money, then people vilify you for even picking up a nickel for your hard work, right? Now here's the thing. Here's what's fascinating to me, right? We will look at a Shaun King who's done, just immeasurable amounts of good in terms of creating awareness. I mean, you may not like everything. You may not rock with everything he says. And I don't rock with, like I said, 40%. It's like, oh, whatever. Yeah. Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Immigration. Yeah. Donald Trump. Yeah. Right. But then, oh, wait, that Black lady got shot. I didn't see that. Wow. Thank you for sharing that video. Right. Like that does something for me. Right. And here's the thing. Right. I think it's really fascinating that people were giving Shaun King shit because they're all worried about what Shaun King did with the money that he raised. But you give a lot of money. You give about $1 trillion a year to white businesses, and you don't ask them shit. And you know they don't give a shit about you. You know they don't care about you. You know that white businesses ain't never coming back to your neighborhood to give you nothing. Half y'all motherfuckers contributed to the $100 million payday Popeye's Chicken got, just literally came in and financially raped. They didn't just rape you, they gave you an STD. They didn't just rape the black community financially, they left you with diabetes and heart disease to go with it. Right. So it's one thing if they came in and just took it and took your financial pussy. They didn't just take the pussy. They left you with a disease and a baby that you don't want, an unwanted pregnancy. Because now half y'all go. I mean, seriously, anybody seen those videos of like morbidly? I'm talking about morbidly obese black people. There's one video of this guy, pastor something. I forgot his name. I don't even want to say his name because I don't want to sound like I'm hating. But that video disturbed me. Some big old gigantic guy had like 8 chins. And he was doing a taste test between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. And he bites in Popeyes and he's like, big old double chins just sitting there like, and I'm sitting there, bro, like you're gonna die. Like you look like you might literally die from a heart attack tomorrow. Right. So my point is like, really? How come y'all not going after Popeyes the way y'all going after Shaun King? Why do you kill your enemies and kiss your friends on the ass? Excuse me. Well, sorry, you know what I'm saying. I scratched that. Y'all know what I reverse that, right? You reward your enemies, and then the people that actually give a shit about you, you give them all kinds of shit. It's no different from like that man. You ever see like a man who goes to work every day and he's being disrespected by his white boss and he can't take it and it's driving him crazy. So what does he do? Does he say something to the white man who's mistreating him, who's disrespecting him? No, he doesn't. He don't say nothing. He's like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, boss, no, boss. But then he goes home and he punches his wife in the face. Right? His wife literally gets punched in the face while she's like, baby, would you like some biscuits? And no, bitch. So he's literally punching. The wife is his ally. She's ride or die. She's got his back. And you're beating the shit out of her, but your boss who's pissing on you and calling you a nigga every day of the week and twice on Sundays, you're giving him the royal treatment. That's how y'all do between the people that care about you and the people that don't. You know, I'm not saying that there's nothing. I mean, Shaun King issued that 72-page report and all that. But if I was Shaun King, if I was Shaun's friend, I would have said, man, fuck these people in their goddamn report. Don't you issue shit. Don't you apologize for nothing because you got a bunch of ungrateful ass people who are going to give you a bunch of shit over something that should be a non-issue. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't investigate Shaun King, but before you go investigating Shaun King, go investigate Popeye's Chicken, who just literally came in and did a $100 million cash grab out of your poorest neighborhoods and left you diabetes to go with it, right? Go do an investigation on Gucci and Louis Vuitton, where the Louis Vuitton owner just announced that he's now worth over a $100 billion. Shaun King, let's say he took a couple dollars just so he could pay the rent, so he could make sure his kids ate while he's out here fighting for y'all. He's just trying to get money so he can pay the mortgage, so he can keep things going. He's not even doing that, right? Because y'all like, no, nigga, if you helping black people, you must be poor. You need to be broke. You fuck your kids. Your kids don't deserve to eat. You need to. No. So let's say Shaun is taking a couple dollars here and there. The Gucci Louis Vuitton founder, not Gucci, Louis, separate companies. The Louis Vuitton owner, go look it up, just announced that he's worth over 100 billion, $100 billion. And he got a chunk of that money from you. He got that money from you. Your 1.2 trillion, you have that 1.3 trillion that we get, we probably give 1.2 trillion away to white people. And y'all worried about whether Shaun King took $5,000 to make sure his kids get to eat while he's out here doing activism. Seriously? I mean, are you kidding me right now? So I'm not saying Shaun couldn't have done anything inappropriate or couldn't have done something that maybe he wouldn't want everybody to know. I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't give a fuck. He's at the bottom of the priority list when it comes to the vast list of economic criminals in the black community. Shaun King is not at the top of my list. I'm not. If you tell me you want to go light up the pitchforks and go do an extensive, exhaustive investigation into the background of Shaun King to make sure he didn't steal 8 nickels from black people, I'm not going to join you in that, because I'm going to say that your energy and your attention is misguided. Because I'm telling you, these white folks will rob your black ass in broad daylight. because they know that half of us are stupid, half of us are easily triggered, half of us are crabs in a barrel. We somehow, but again, Shaun contributes to this, right? When Shaun is criticizing everybody who's making money, and I don't think he's doing it on a regular basis, but the Jay-Z thing, I kind of felt like I felt biased. I felt like it's like, oh, you're friends with Kaepernick, that's why you're mad at Jay-Z. But if Kaepernick had gone and got that bag, if Kaepernick had gone and got paid at the NFL, we'd be cheering. But when Jay-Z goes and gets paid by the NFL, well, I'm supposed to get mad. No, both of y'all was in the same multi-millionaire, let's see who can get paid by the NFL game. Both of y'all are out here doing whatever, right? Both of y'all do some good, both of y'all do some bad. But I don't really care who gets paid first, because at the end of the day, the black community is still going to be, in the toilet, right? So, here's the thing, right? With Shaun, it's kind of like, if Shaun is making money at all from his activism, I'm not offended by that, because I believe activists have to pay bills like everybody else. One of the reasons, and this is why I encourage you guys to get away from this left-leaning extreme socialism, like we hate all business owners, we hate all people who make money mindset, because you got to understand, most movements that have ever occurred in history, white or black, could not have prospered without somebody writing a motherfucking check. At the end of the day, somebody's got to write a check. And if you vilify every person with the capacity to write a check, then you will have no money and your activism will die, because your activism has no economic fuel to sustain itself. Right. So, I think that, Shaun deserves money. I mean, we got entertainers out here. We have entertainers out here that are making $50 million a year by convincing black children to get addicted to Molly. Right? We have entertainers out here that are making, $20-30 million a year by convincing your children to murder each other. And I don't understand how you could be upset that Shaun King possibly got compensated for shining a light on a lot of police killings, but you don't have any problem with all these rappers that are making all this money, far more than Shaun King will ever make. And they're doing nothing but harming and destroying your community. Popeyes is making all this money, and all they did was deliver you a bucket of greasy chicken with some diabetes attached. It's kind of weird that we make our entertainers rich, and we expect our activists to be broke. We want celebrities and athletes to be rich, but we want our teachers to be broke. We want to go make white people rich, but we want our black advocates to be poor. There's nothing that makes Shaun King a better advocate when he can't feed his kids. In fact, you're weakening if you believe in his advocacy. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. It's okay. Believe what you want. That's fine. But let's consider somebody that you really believe in. Let's say you don't believe in Shaun King. Let's say you believe in Farrakhan, but you don't believe in Shaun King, right? Well, I've seen Farrakhan's house, and it's a nice house. I've been there. I bet you the house ain't free. I know in Chicago we got to pay taxes. I know, Farrakhan, he don't roll around in a Toyota Corolla. Does that bother you? It don't bother me at all. It does not bother me at all. Because, when you're doing great things, I believe you deserve great rewards. I'm okay with that. There are plenty of people who are doing nothing for your community, who care nothing about you, who are living far better than Shaun King, far better than Farrakhan, far better than any of the people that you claim to admire. You got to admire somebody. If you admire nobody, that means you're 100% hater, which means you need to go see a therapist. So I need you to, in your mind right now, think of somebody you admire, somebody that you respect, somebody you trust. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe some of y'all are here because you don't like me, but some of y'all might be here because you do. Man, do you think it's free when I go to all these damn cities and I'm talking to black people? Do you know they cost us like sometimes as much as $20,000 to go to a city? And do you know how hard it is to go get that work done when you're dealing with a community that will tell you that you're overcharging them because you're asking them to pay $50 or even $100, but yet that same person went to see the Black Panther and took their kids and spent $135 and gave all that money to Disney? Disney made $1 billion off your black ass, and ain't nobody filed no investigations on Disney. Ain't nobody, trolling Disney on Twitter. There's nobody. The black Twitter ain't going ham, creating a hashtag, called "fuck Disney" or the big Disney robbery or the big Disney scam artist. Nobody's doing that, and they make it clear to you that they don't care nothing about you. So, in a lot of ways, when it comes to how we treat the people that we supposedly admire, again, we're like that husband who will kiss his racist boss's ass but come home and beat his wife. Or we're like that dude. You ever see those dudes who will mistreat the girl that really loves them and really is ride or die with them, but then they'll go spend all their money chasing the hoe who acts like a complete bitch. Or even when women do this too. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know anybody know some stupid girls? Anybody know stupid girls that'll do that? Where literally the guy that says, "I love you, I'll be there with you, I will be by your side. What do you need? Can I bring you some food?" She's like, "Oh, he's too nice, he's too easy. I don't like him." But the guy down the hall who literally only shows up once every 2 weeks so that he can collect a blowjob, you're doing backflips to earn his love because you got daddy issues and you have low self-esteem and something is wrong with you because you don't love yourself enough to appreciate it when somebody loves you back. You hate yourself so much that when you see a man that loves you, you think, "Oh, something must be wrong with you," because clearly, if you like me, then you can't be a high quality man because there's no way a quality man can be interested in me at that level. So therefore, you are low quality, which means I'm not going to give you the best that I got. Right. So, but when you grow up and you start to love yourself, you start reversing that thinking. Right. And I bring this up even when I'm talking about, since we've been talking about love and relationships a lot, I believe life is a journey of love. I can just tell you that one thing I learned, and I'm glad it took time to get to this point. But when I go talk to that woman up there, part of the reason I give her the best that I got is because I know she gives me her best. Part of the reason I give her the best that I got is because I know that she loves me unlike anybody else. You'll never see me putting more energy chasing a woman who literally shows me the crack of her ass and tells me I ain't shit. You'll never see me giving more energy to a woman like that than I will to the woman that really loves me and shows me respect. So what I'm saying to you is the same thing here. Your economic love is the same way. Black people, you have low self-esteem. I think that what you do is when you see somebody doing something for the black community, you say, "Oh, well, I ain't got to treat you as well as I treat the white man." When you see somebody that's got a black business, you say, "Oh, well, the product probably ain't as good as it is." When the white guy come in town, you're lining up around the block. You can't wait to support what they're doing, and they literally pee on you, every single day. They do a R. Kelly on your ass every day of the week, and you love that. You love that. You're like R. Kelly sex slaves. Literally, you have a problem with that. And so what I'm telling you to do is to be a little more conscious and reverse your thinking. Reverse your thinking where you say, no. You know what? If somebody gonna steal from me, not steal from me, but whatever, I'm gonna, if Shaun King is taking a couple grand off the top so he can make sure his kids get fed, I want his kids to eat good. His kids should be eating lobster and caviar because he's busting his ass working hard for the black community. That's okay. I'd rather have him and his kids eating good than to have the children of the CEO of Disney eating good because we all got caught up in a movie where they were putting none of those proceeds back into our community. They're investing none of that money back into the black community except hiring a couple of house Negroes to come work for them. Not house Negro in a derogatory way, house Negro in the exclusivity way, meaning that everybody ain't benefiting when Disney does $1 billion cash grab in the black community. When Black Panther 2 comes out and they go make another $1 billion off your community, the same community that claims to be poor, but yet will dress up in fucking Wakanda outfits and make it into a special occasion to go see this movie, right? And not to diss it though, I like it. It's a good movie. Disney put out a good movie, but make no mistake about it. I'm not going to celebrate what they're doing, ahead of what black people are doing. I'm not going to sit here and wonder if an activist who's fighting for me is getting a couple grand to feed his kids when I ain't said nothing about the fact that the Disney CEO just bought another $20 million mansion to go with the other $20 mansion. Or him and his wife have his and her private jets off of black people's money. maybe that's where you should start with the big targets. And then if you want, after you work through all the other thousands of white people that are robbing you, then you work your way down and say, by the way, Shaun, we already cleaned out the closet over here. We already are buying 100% black. All that 1.3 trillion, 70, 80, 90% of it is now coming back to the black community because we cleaned up the streets financially and we're now engaged in black economic love. Now that we've done all of that, now we're going to come talk to you because we want to know what you're doing with this money, right? So I really think I'm not telling you that you're wrong. If you're skeptical, Shaun, then I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't like him, that's fine too. If you think he's white and that bothers you, then shit, I don't care. I really don't care. I just don't care. Like I don't really dislike Shaun King or I actually like him more than I dislike him, but I don't think that he's necessarily a perfect fit for me, right? But the man, I ain't seen the man hurt nobody. I think that all the attackers and the trolls, I think you got to really also watch out. Remember that also COINTELPRO is real. And there are people out there that are agents that are positioned specifically to create chaos and confusion to undermine the credibility of any person of color or anybody who aligns with black people that appears to be trying to do good work. So I think this might be a COINTELPRO operation. Because it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, right? And what I will say also, again, since I got my finance professor hat on, I will say that Shaun deserves to be applauded for the fact that he engaged in something that's very important when it comes to money, which is transparency, collecting the donations, the fact that he accounted for all the money, he got these credible people to go write this report. I think that does do a lot for him, but I think it's kind of unfortunate that he had to do that because personally, I'd rather have him out doing the work than to have him out trying to prove to haters and trolls that he's legit. Some people ain't never going to believe it. But here's the thing, 99.9% of those people who are complaining about what he's doing, they ain't doing nothing themselves. And every day y'all get up and you give away the best years of your life to a white man that you work for. Half these motherfuckers working over at the damn post office. They working for IBM. They working for, the Walmart, and they're giving thousands of hours of labor and millions of dollars in their family wealth potential to white people because they never did anything for the black community themselves. So to me, I think that certain people have to just be ignored, right? Certain people have to be ignored. And I encourage all of you to do the same thing. If you start doing something that's impactful or something big, just know that you're going to have a bunch of people coming out and saying crazy stuff. And you got to learn how to ignore at least about 80-90% of that. And so that's why, for example, when all those weird comments came up about Alicia and I and the marriage and all that, I'm to the point where I really can't laugh about it because you know what's real and you know what's not real. People on the outside, they just say stuff to try to poke at you because black people are so easily triggered. Okay, so don't be triggered. Just keep doing your work, keep on moving forward. And that's my advice to Shaun. Just keep doing your best work. You did your report. It's done. It's out there. You can refer people to the report. Now move on and keep doing your stuff. I think Shaun deserves that award because Shaun's work has been, pretty strong and pretty solid, and I respect that. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna go hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget All Black National Convention is happening the weekend of September 27th. So if you'd like to come out, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. If you're trying to get a backup for Facebook, go to blackenough.com. This is our social media platform where we can be as black as we want to be, and nobody gives us any problems. This is how you spell it, blackenough.com. Also, if you're looking to teach your children about wealth, we actually have financial workbooks for children. You don't have to take a look, but if you want kids to learn wealth, feel free to go check them out. They won't cost you much more than a couple buckets of Popeye's chicken, but the difference is that instead of giving you diabetes, they will give your children knowledge. So feel free to go check it out. It's financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. Now let's see here, Dr. B. Why is that the rich among our people don't come together with intelligent minds like yourself and develop a plan and agenda to help too? I don't really know. I think it's a shame. I think it's a damn shame because we've got the wealth that we need. I mean, if you really just got, the top 10 most famous black people together and they all really joined, created a council to elevate and fix black neighborhoods. I mean, really fix them. And then they put pressure on their same 100 wealthiest, most powerful friends, like people like the Obamas who are sitting on $100 million a year, who ain't doing nothing really heavy for black people. They're just symbolic figures. Like really, look at the Obamas. They're not doing anything except, making money. Like that's pretty much what they're doing now. Or Obama will tweet out his playlist on his Spotify, but that's how low the bar has been set. the bar has been set incredibly low, where you're living, the masses of black people are living in the middle of a state of emergency. The masses of black people are living in neighborhoods like Inglewood. You know, I'm working with a domestic violence shelter out in Inglewood. The black unemployment rate out there is 30–40%. And you got these celebrities that literally have been given a license to not care. You know, and I think that is a damn shame. I'm going to talk about it until somebody gets what I'm saying. And I think it's time to kind of speak up about that a little bit. So if they, because literally these celebrities, if they wanted to raise $1 billion to go in, and maybe they could just pick, 5 black cities or 5 majority black cities and go in and fix those cities, they could do it overnight. They could do it overnight, but they don't care. So and they don't care partly because you allow them to not care. By you not saying anything, or you calling me a hater because I brought it up, that's why your community is struggling. That's why your community is not moving forward. So we have to start caring and not apologizing for caring. So that's my 2 cents on it. And if any of them are watching right now and they want me to help them, I will volunteer to sit on the committee or the panel and share my best ideas. If they gave me a budget of $20 million, I could go educate 100,000 black males on how to start businesses for that budget. $20 million that's less than what Michael Jordan spends on his private golf course. So literally they could take the money that they throw away and give to white people, give that to something that's progressive and black, and I could put their name on it and make them the greatest hero in the world, and then literally go out and transform the lives of 100,000 black people. But until they come around, we'll just keep doing the work and we'll keep moving forward. So take care, guys. Have a good day. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, don't forget, if you want to get a text notification when we're live, just text Boyce, the word Boyce, BOYCE, to 31996. That's 31996. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good night. Peace.